Hi everyone, it's me Spring, the fiber enthusiast, and welcome to my channel. Today is a crochet stitch tutorial. Yay! I'm going to be using some vintage yarn as I have been for the last several tutorials. And my old Yarnology crochet hook, absolutely my favorite hook in the entire world. Today is going to be another lacy style stitch. Your stitch repeat, your multiples for your starting chain is going to be 4 plus 3. So if you're starting from a project you already have, your multiples will be 4, and then you would chain up 3 from wherever on the multiples of 4 and start this pattern. So if you had an Afghan and you wanted to add this as, say, trim around it or one end of it, you would pick up and make sure that you have multiples of 4. And then you would just start working from the chain 3, which would be your first double crochet. So I'm going to go ahead and chain 15, and that's going to get me started from a base chain. So if you'd like to do this along with me, go ahead and grab some yarn and a hook and chain 15. Once I have my 15, I will be working in the back bumps of the chain. So you have the front side of the chain and the back side of the chain. The back side bumps are also known as the spine of the chain. And we're gonna do what's called a popcorn stitch, and I'm gonna go into the 5th chain from my hook to work this popcorn stitch. So as always in standard crochet, the loop on your hook is just a loop on your hook. The stitches after that is the ones that you count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 into that 5th chain. So we have a chain 3 and a chain 1 that we've skipped initially. So that chain 3 is our double crochet and a chain 1 space. So now we're going to do this popcorn stitch. So yarn over and go into that stitch, the 5th stitch from your hook, and do a double crochet. And we're going to repeat that 4 more times into the same stitch. So we're going to have 4 double crochets added to this one we just did. A total of 5 double crochets into that stitch. It's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now you're going to pull up a loop just so that way it doesn't disappear when you remove your hook. So pull up a loop, and you're going to count back 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 into that 5th stitch back. You will insert your hook, bring the loop that you took off your hook and replace it back onto your hook, and pull that loop through, and I hold my finger behind it to help keep it puffed out. And now you're going to chain 1, skip 1. Now when you put all of those double crochets into that chain, it's going to make your next chain a little harder to find. If you're not careful, you would skip it. So you want to make sure that you locate the very next stitch, skip 1, and double crochet into the following. Okay, just like that. Okay, now we're going to skip 1 again and do the same popcorn stitch into the next. So 5 double crochets into the same stitch. It's 2, 3, 4, and 5. pull up a loop, remove your hook, count back 5 stitches. So if you're looking at the top, you will count back 5 V's, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Into the 5th one, insert your hook, replace the loop back onto your hook and tighten it back down. Pull that loop through and chain 1. Now you're going to skip your next stitch. Remember to make sure you're real cautious as to finding and locating that very next stitch. You're going to skip it and double crochet into the following. Then we're going to repeat that again. We're going to skip the next stitch, and into the following we're going to do a popcorn stitch. So 5 double crochets into the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, all into one stitch. Pull up a loop, count back 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Insert your hook into that 5th stitch. Replace the loop back onto your hook, tighten it down, and pull it through and chain 1. Now you're going to skip the next stitch and double crochet into the last. You should have 2 chains left. So we're going to skip this one and double crochet into the last. Okay, that is the completion for your chain and your first row. You should have 3 popcorns, a chain 3 at the beginning, a double crochet in between the first 2 popcorns and the second 2 popcorns, and then a double crochet at the end. Now you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Turn your work over. And we're going to double crochet into the top of that popcorn stitch. So we're going to place a double crochet into the top of that popcorn stitch. Which is where you chained 1 after creating the popcorn stitch. So double crochet. Okay, on top of the double crochet after the popcorn stitch, so here we have the popcorn stitch, and then your double crochet is right next to it. On top of that double crochet, we're going to create a popcorn stitch. So 5 double crochets into that same stitch. It's 3, 4, and 5. Pull up a loop, count back 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Insert your hook into the 5th stitch. Replace the loop back onto your hook, pull it through, and chain 1. That's what you work into on the next row, is that chain 1. So now we're going to double crochet into the top of that popcorn stitch. Sometimes it's a little difficult to get to. There we are. And now we're going to place a popcorn stitch into the next stitch, which is on top of that double crochet from the row below. So 5 double crochets into that stitch. pull up a loop, count back 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 into the 5th stitch, insert your hook, replace the loop back onto your hook, tighten it down and pull it through, and chain 1. Now we're going to double crochet on top of the next stitch, which is the next popcorn stitch. Just like that. And now we're going to place a double crochet into the top of that turning chain, that very last chain. Here we are. There we go. Okay, so on this side, we have 2 popcorns. And I'll tell you what you do. You turn them inside out so that way they're on the same side as your other popcorns. Just by shoving your thumb through, it pushes them to the other side. Okay, so now we're going to chain 3 and turn our work. 1, 2, 3. Turn your work. And now you can see those popcorns are all on the same side. All right. So we're going to skip where we just chained 3 from, and we're going to popcorn into the first double crochet stitch from the row below. So 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Pull up a loop, remove your hook, count back 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Insert your hook, replace the loop back on your hook, pull that loop through, and chain 1. Now you're going to double crochet into the next stitch, which is above your popcorn. Popcorn into the next stitch, which is your double crochet. So 5 double crochets into that stitch. 3, 4, and 5. Pull up a loop, remove your hook, count back 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Insert your hook, replace the loop, pull the loop through, and chain 1. Double crochet into the next stitch, which is the popcorn. Popcorn into the next. So 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Pull up a loop, remove your hook, count back 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and replace your hook into the 5th. Replace the loop onto your hook, pull the loop through, and chain 1. And now double crochet into the top of your last stitch, your chain 3. And you just repeat that row over and over and over again for whatever size you want, but that is a lacy popcorn stitch pattern. Again, it's real easy to do, real quick to work up. So this is the lacy popcorn stitch pattern, and I love how the texture shows up. I love textured projects. I really like textured projects, and this could be used for many, many, many things. It would be really neat as a hot pad done in cotton because it has enough air, but yet the density, because of the popcorn stitch, it would allow it to sit up and be elevated just a little bit. Fun stitch to do. All right, everyone, be blessed, be a blessing, and until next time, bye for now.